up? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood, and we are back on the IE Network. This is the Heaven Hollywood Report, and let's get to it. And shout out to my sponsor, in case you didn't know, that's ICYDK.blog. Make sure you check them out on the World Wide Web and all mobile devices. So let's get into it. So we're going to be talking about Atlantic Records and also Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and the Call of Duty Shade. But we're going to start it off with Kodak Black. Now, Kodak Black pushed back his record. He went on social media, let everybody know that he was not dropping his album on Friday, which he was supposed to do. He's pushing the album back. Now, what we have come to find out is that this is Kodak Black's last album with Atlantic. He will be leaving Atlantic Records and more than likely signing with Capitol Records. Now, the funny thing about Atlantic Records is, from what I'm getting when talking to the people on the inside, it seems as though Atlantic is pushing more female artists and more R&B and pop stars. They are trying to get rid of all of their street artists. If you notice, Meek Mill has an issue with Atlantic. He left. Young Boy had an issue with Atlantic. He left. And now Kodak Black is also leaving. But then you have the pop artists who don't seem to have any problem with Atlantic. I believe Ed Sheeran's on Atlantic. I believe Bruno Mars is on Atlantic. And then you have Cardi B, who is one of the main pushers on Atlantic Records. Well, at least she was. We're going to see, I have seen her recently complain about Atlantic, but she's still one of the main pushers. All right? She's one of the main people that they still push. Now, I don't know how that's going to go going forward. They're going to cut down. Remember, Cardi B already got the bag from Atlantic. Now, Kodak Black, from what I was hearing, wanted, close to what Youngboy got. The rumor that is that NBA Youngboy got $60 million. Kodak Black considers himself, in regardless of what other people consider him, Kodak Black considers him in the same category as NBA Youngboy. Right? So he probably wasn't going to ask for 60, but he probably asked for 50. And Atlantic is just not doing that anymore. If you look back at what Atlantic put out this year and what they profited off of, Atlantic is cutting budgets. Just go back and look at all of the artists that was on Atlantic that was popping. And over this last year, while Julie Greenwald continues to get Executive of the Year, what have you, they're cutting their budgets year by year. All right? They're cutting their budgets year by year. You see Cardi B complaining a couple of things about Atlantic, as far as her video went and stuff like that, and put the album not coming out yet, certain singles, dropping or leaking, what have you. So she's had her small issues with Atlantic as well, but for the most part, she's still up in the top tier as far as a pusher. Now, the male, and this has now started the male artists to start thinking this is kind of like discrimination. The male street artists seem to be leaving Atlantic. Now, Youngboy is going to go, for what they say, he may sign with Capitol as well. So Capitol Records is starting to pick up the street artists. If they get Youngboy, I'm not saying that they are going to get Youngboy, but it's a possibility. DJ Academics, I think, mentioned that. And they may sign Kodak Black. Now, and I remember at one time, Capitol Records, Atlantic was one of the big payers. But Atlantic is making so much money off of their pop and mainstream artists. They're cutting down where they want to increase their budget, right, for their mainstream artists. So they're starting to cut down on the street artists. And, if they can get you for a decent price, sure, they'll bring you back. If they can't, then they won't. So you're going to see a lot of things changing next year for Atlantic Records. And this is why this next album with Cardi B is very, very important. Very important. So that is the reason why she is, putting on, WAP up, within the jurisdiction of the second album. She's putting those albums on. But the more and more time that pass, the worse off it's going to be. So she needs to drop that album. We're now in October. If that album doesn't drop in 2022, in my opinion, Cardi B might be in a lot of trouble. Not saying a lot of trouble financial-wise or a lot of trouble with the label, but meaning as far as her popularity and her engagement with the general public. She has to drop an album this year. Speaking of Cardi B, the Call of Duty shade and the Call of Duty drama is going on Twitter as we speak. I already dropped a video on the members only about the real situation. I called up, a member of Call of Duty. I called someone. I had actually called her. The funny thing is I called her to try to find out who I can talk to, who can tell me, because she's not in that department. So she's a commissioner. So then she was like, you can talk to me. I can tell you, what you need. You know what I mean? So she of course, I've known her from when I worked into the sports world. I knew she made a transfer from, the sports world over to Call of Duty. So I've known her for years. So I just called her to see if I could find out who can tell me about these deals. And she was like, I can tell you. I know all about them. So she gave me the information that I needed. That's over on members only about the Cardi B, Nicki Minaj situation in that brand deal. So if you want to check that out, make sure you join members only. That's all I got for you now. Of course, I'll be back with another one. I want to thank everybody for their support. Members only is now over 300 members. I appreciate all the love and support. And for that, I'm giving y'all all the exclusive first. All right? And there's some that's never even going to hear it unless they join members only. Right? So you have a choice. You can listen to people making stuff up, or you can listen to the real and join members only. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood, the IE Network. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, hit that notification bell. I'll catch y'all on the next one.